Hello everyone, good morning. Welcome to Testbook Super Coaching Regulatory Bodies YouTube channel. So we are back with another English session for your upcoming RBI Grade B Phase 2 exams. And as you all know, we have been doing these classes for the last 2 weekends. And in this lecture, we are going to discuss one newspaper article from the business standards. And we are also going to discuss a potential essay topic for your exam and how that article will help you get the content, get the relevant points to write in your essays. So this series is called Descriptive Writing Through Newspaper Articles for RBI Grade B and NABARD Grade A. So if you are new to this series, I would request all of you to watch all the previous videos as well and subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon so that you will get notified every time we come live. Now, the topic of today's discussion is geopolitical risks and their economic impact on India. Now, why I have chosen this as a topic? Because it is going on in current news. As you all know, Russia-Ukraine war has been happening for many years now, almost 2 years now, right? Apart from that, now there is this present war going on between Israel and Iran, Jordan, not Jordan, I would say Lebanon, not Jordan, Lebanon, ईरान लेबनान है ना. तो ये वॉर चल रहा है, सीरिया भी उसमें इन्वॉल्व हो जाए, मिडिल ईस्ट का एक वॉर कॉन्फ्लिक्ट जो है वो चलते रहता है, राइट. देर आर कॉन्फ्लिक्ट्स गोइंग ऑन इन अदर पार्ट्स ऑफ द वर्ल्ड एज वेल. अफ्रीकन कंट्रीज में कुछ कॉन्फ्लिक्ट चलते रहते हैं, साउथ अमेरिका में कुछ ना कुछ कॉन्फ्लिक्ट चलते रहता है, तो वो डोमेस्टिक लेवल पे होते हैं. लेकिन ये दो अभी बड़े स्केल पर दीज आर हैपनिंग इन द वर्ल्ड. एंड ऑब्वियसली in a globalized economy, if there is any problem, if there is any war-like situation in one part of the world, it has direct consequences on the other parts of the world, and India is no exception to it. So what is going to be the economic impact on India, and what are these geopolitical risks that are happening, that are going on presently in the world, right? So this is basically happening in the current affairs, and that is why this could be a potential essay topic, right? Now in this for this particular essay, we are going to discuss an article, a newspaper article from the Business Standard. This article was published on 5th of October 2024, and the title of the article is Amid Geopolitical Tensions, Growing Exports to be a Stiffer Challenge, according to a survey. Now we are going to read this article in detail, and I'll just close my video profile here. These are actual screenshots from the articles. You guys can also read it. It is available on the Business Standard website. Okay, so if you see, this survey cites risk of geopolitical tensions, rise in protectionism, higher trade cost because of the Red Sea crisis, and the commodity price volatility as reasons. So the article starts with the economic survey on Monday cautioned that growing goods and services exports will be a stiffer challenges than before. So when it comes to the export sector of India, we are going to face a stiffer challenges due to the risks of geopolitical tensions, rise in protectionism, higher trade cost because of the Red Sea crisis, and commodity price volatility. To deal with this, India needs to understand what the changing paradigms mean for the country and frame policies that straddle security concerns with economic considerations, which can be done by encouraging manufacturing in niche and complex sectors through production linked incentive schemes and Make in India. So, what exactly the author says here? That India is going to face a challenge when it comes to exports, especially because of this Red Sea crisis. And to deal with this situation, it is required to change the basically changing the paradigms of the for the country means changing all the functionings or the definitions of functioning, and you have to frame policies in such a way that that bypass these security concerns without any economic consideration. Okay, this can be done by production link incentive schemes, and we have to start manufacturing in niche sectors. Niche means बेसिकली अ रेयर पर्टिकुलर सेक्टर जिसमें बहुत बहुत सारे लोग इन्वॉल्व नहीं है ना, स्पेशलाइज्ड सेक्टर है. And Make in India is also another aspect where we can focus on. According to the survey, despite the risks in the coming years, India's trade deficit is expected to decline further as the PLI scheme is expanded and India creates a globally competitive manufacturing base in several product categories. Right? Now, the article further says the recently signed free trade agreements with the United Arab Emirates, Mauritius, Australia, European Free Trade Agreement Association are expected to increase the global market share of the country's exports. So, we have recently signed these free trade agreements with UAE, Mauritius, Australia, यूरोपियन फ्री ट्रेड एसोसिएशन है ना. इनके वजह से ग्लोबल मार्केट शेयर में इंडिया के जो एक्सपोर्ट्स हैं वो बढ़ने के चांसेस हैं. नाउ when we talk about the export story of goods and services from India, these are goods that were exported and these are the services that were exported in $1 billion. This is some data that is presented in the newspaper article. In financial year 2020, these many $1 billion of exports were made. In financial year 2021, financial year 2022, and as you can see, the goods are always more than the services when it comes to exports, right? And it has been increasing. फाइनेंशियल ईयर 2021 में सर्विसेज थोड़ा कम हो गया था एज कंपेयर टू फाइनेंशियल ईयर 2020, बट इन जनरल ये ड्रॉप देखने को मिला था कोविड के वजह से भी, है ना. गुड्स में भी $303 बिलियन से $292 बिलियन में ड्रॉप देखने को मिला था. But again in 2022, we have seen this increase in both goods and services. And as you can see in financial year 23 and financial year 24 as well, we are able to see substantial rise. However, there has been a slight drop in the goods export from 23 to 24. Okay. Now this data is from the Department of Commerce, RBI. Besides, international agencies as well as India's central bank expect the current account deficit to gross domestic product to moderate to below 1% for financial year 24 due to growing merchandise and service exports and resilient remittances. The last quarter of financial year 24 extended with a current account surplus of 0.6% of the GDP. Okay. In the future, the changing composition of India's export basket, enhancement in trade related infrastructure, enhanced quality consciousness, and product safety considerations in the private sector, and stable policy environment are expected to play a significant role in driving India's rise as a global supplier of goods and services, the survey said. Now, this article is predominantly based on the exports of service and goods and services from India. However, you can add other components to your essay as well. We are reading this article, we are reading this newspaper article just from the point of view of one factor. It could become maybe one or two paragraphs in your essay. And we cannot write the entire essay on this particular topic itself, but this could be a part of your essay. That is why we are finding out these what you can say news articles which can help you build that content for your essays. Okay, so these two paragraphs are again very important. In this paragraph we are talking about the actual factual data, and this is something what kind of a solution has also been given to this problem. Okay, it pointed out that rising protectionism is another risk that could undermine trade recovery in 2024 and 25. One case in point is the United States was India's second largest trading partner in financial year 2024 after China. However, the United States overall import volume contracted 1.7% in 23 compared to a growth of 8.6% in 2022, which significantly influenced export growth in trading partners including India. Fluctuations in commodity prices, especially for capital imports like oil, metals, and agricultural products, can impact India's trade balance and inflation levels. Disappointing global growth presents a downside risks, especially for industrial commodities. So there is basically disappointing global growth and this it presents a downside risk. It appears to be a risk for industrial commodities. Adding trade restrictions could push food prices higher. Trade restrictions जब ऐड किए जाएंगे तो obviously food prices भी push होंगे, higher चले जाएंगे, the survey said, right? And then India is also working towards unlocking the potential gains from growing integration by augmenting the logistics front through large infrastructure deals such as international north-south transport corridor that is expected to shorten trade time for shipment to Russia and to Europe. So you can add this point of the international north-south transport corridor. Okay, when it comes to shortening the time taken for the shipments to reach Russia and Europe. Similarly, the India, Middle East, Europe corridor, which will connect Asia with Europe via ports and railroads. Ashwani Kumar, President, Federation of Indian Export Organization, said that reducing the cost of logistics in the country will help in making our exports more competitive. So we are also talking about reducing the cost of logistics in our country to make it more competitive. In that regard, development of an Indian shipping line of global repute is the need of the hour. So, Indian shipping line, a separate dedicated shipping line is the need of the hour to reduce this logistics cost. है ना? As the country remitted over $109 billion as transport service charge in 2022. Because of an absence of a dedicated Indian shipping line of global repute, India had to pay $109 billion as transport service charge in 2022. As India moves towards the goal of 1 trillion goods export, this will which will touch $200 billion by 2023. तो जब हमारा गुड्स एक्सपोर्ट $1 ट्रिलियन तक जाएगा तो ये जो खर्चा होता है शिपिंग के ऊपर, है ना, शिपिंग लाइन के ऊपर जो खर्चा होता है वो $200 बिलियन तक चला जाएगा 2030 में, इन द नेक्स्ट कमिंग 5 years, 5 to 6 years. A 25% share by the Indian shipping line can save 50 billion a year on year basis. अगर एक इंडिपेंडेंट शिपिंग लाइन एस्टेब्लिश किया तो $50 बिलियन ईयर ऑन ईयर मतलब हर साल बचा सकते हैं. रिड्यूसिंग आर्म ट्विस्टिंग बाय फॉरेन शिपिंग लाइंस. एंड फॉरेन शिपिंग लाइंस जो इस चीज का फायदा उठाते हैं, एक प्रकार से आर्म ट्विस्टिंग करते हैं, डोमिनेट करते हैं, वो भी कम हो जाएगा, पर्टिकुलरली फॉर स्मॉल एंड मीडियम एंटरप्राइजेस. So whenever you are writing an essay on MSMEs as well, अगर by chance MSME के ऊपर टॉपिक आ गया, you can add this point in that particular essay regarding independent shipping lines. Okay, this was the article in the newspaper. There was another article in the same newspaper. This is regarding a person, Chris Wood, who talks about India's exposure, says geopolitics is the biggest risk to markets. Okay, so I would recommend all of you to go through this article as well. This article is also present in the Business Standard of 5th of October. Okay, now we read this particular article, and if you guys have time, please go through this article as well. So by reading these articles, we have shortlisted some points for you guys, and these are some pointers that you can add in your essays while writing on this particular topic. So the first pointer is geopolitical tensions and global markets. So geopolitical instability, especially from crises like the Russia-Ukraine war or the conflicts in the Middle East, are the largest near-term risks to global equity markets. These conflicts have a direct impact on oil prices, commodity prices, investor sentiments, है ना, एंड इसके वजह से दुनिया भर के मार्केट्स क्या बन जाते हैं, हाईली वॉलेटाइल बन जाते हैं. Now what is the impact on oil prices? Geopolitical tensions in oil producing regions like the Middle East can cause sharp fluctuations in oil prices. For example, recent geopolitical developments caused Brent crude oil price to surge, which has far-reaching consequence for inflation, trade balances and economic stability. Supply chain disruptions and trade costs. This is the third point that you can add. Tensions such as the Red Sea crisis and protectionism trends have led to rising trade costs and commodity price volatility. Countries including India are grappling with the challenge of maintaining stable export in the face of these rising costs. Indian Economic Survey highlighted the risk of reduced exports due to such geopolitical pressure. The third point for your essay is inflation and monetary policy. These geopolitical risks can exacerbate inflation, especially through rising energy and commodity prices. This forces the central bank, like the RBI, to adopt more stringent monetary policies, which would impact our economic growth. है ना? Impact on investor confidence. The geopolitical risks escalate investor confidence as well. तो कॉन्फिडेंस कम हो जाता है तो इन्वेस्ट करने में हिचकिचाहट होती है, लीडिंग टू कैपिटल फ्लाइट फ्रॉम riskier markets. This could have a particularly adverse impact on the emerging economies who are relying on these investors, which rely on stable investments for growth, especially a country or an economy which is highly dependent on startup ecosystem. So these are the things that you can note down from this particular essay, from this particular newspaper article, right? uh, as I said, you can go through the other link as well, and these are certain points when we talk about geopolitical tensions and its potential consequence on India. You can talk about the oil prices, you can talk about the commodity prices, you can talk about this low investor confidence, you can talk about the pressure that comes on the central bank of the country, है ना, monetary policies कैसे change करने पड़ते हैं. You can also talk about these disruptions in supply chain and trade costs, and you can talk about geopolitical tensions in global market, right? So by remembering all these points, you can jot down a good essay, an ideal essay of around 400 words. Obviously, you can add other points as well. You can add other perspectives as well. That will definitely help you. Okay. So that was our session for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the session. I hope you guys liked what we discussed. This is my Telegram channel @Kaustubh Sir _ Testbook. You guys can join me on Telegram. You will get all the PDFs here. YouTube classes के links आपको यहीं पर मिल जाएंगे. Okay. So that is all for today. Thank you so much all of you for joining and watching the session. And I'll see you again in the next lecture that will happen on next weekend. Right? Okay. Till then, take care guys. Bye bye. Have a good day.